Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the invisible forces that are, right now, shaping what you see and what you believe online. And it really all boils down to one simple, but kind of scary question. In a world run by algorithms, are you actually in control?
Just for a second, picture it. Maybe it was a headline that got your blood boiling, or something that made you laugh, or, an article that just perfectly summed up exactly what you were already thinking. You felt that little jolt, that urge to hit share and send it out into the world.
But what if I told you the choice wasn't really yours? What if that piece of content wasn't just found by you, but was actually engineered to find you, to trigger a very specific, predictable response and keep you plugged into the system? Let's dig in and see exactly how this works.
To get what's happening online, we first have to understand the little bugs inside our own heads. The behavioral economist Dan Ariely just nails it here. We love to think of ourselves as these super logical, rational beings, but we're not. And the way we're irrational, well, it's not random at all. It's a feature of being human, and it's incredibly predictable.
Think about it. Our minds were built for survival on the savannah, not for navigating the infinite scroll of a social media feed. These ancient mental shortcuts, what we call cognitive biases, are the predictable glitches that kept us alive for thousands of years. But in the digital world, they make us super vulnerable.
All right, let's look at the first set of glitches that algorithms are basically built to exploit. The weird way we form first impressions and then refuse to let them go.
So check this out. In this amazing experiment, Dan Ariely had students write down the last 2 digits of their social security number. Then he showed them stuff, like a bottle of wine or some chocolate, and asked, "Would you pay this amount for it?" The results were just wild. When it came time to actually bid, the students with higher social security numbers bid way more money. That first, totally random number became a mental anchor that warped their whole idea of value.
And this is what's known as the anchoring bias. That first piece of info, even if it's completely useless, gets stuck in our heads and taints every decision that comes after. I mean, the social security number had nothing to do with the wine, but their brains just couldn't help but use it as a starting point. Now think about your news feed. That first explosive headline you see, that's your anchor. The first statistic you read, whether it's right or wrong, that's your anchor. It literally colors how you see every other piece of information on that topic for the rest of the day. It's powerful stuff. And this gets even crazier when our expectations get involved. In another experiment, Ariely gave students beer with a secret ingredient, a couple drops of balsamic vinegar. Group A tasted it first, and then he told them about the vinegar. Most of them actually liked it. But with Group B, he told them about the vinegar before they tasted it. The result? They thought it was absolutely disgusting. Same exact beer, totally different experience. This is a perfect example of confirmation bias. Because Group B expected the beer to be gross, the brain literally changed the way they tasted it to confirm that belief. See, we don't just prefer information that agrees with us, our expectations can actually rewrite reality to fit what we already think is true.
Okay, on to the next major glitch, and this one is a biggie. It's that moment when our emotions just hijack the controls from our rational mind.
In one study, Ariely asked male college students some pretty personal questions about their morals and their willingness to do risky things. First, he asked them when they were calm and rational, what he calls a cold state. Then he asked them the exact same questions while they were, let's just say, in a hot, highly aroused state. The difference was, well, staggering.
In that hot state, all rational decision-making just went right out the window. And look, this isn't just about physical arousal, it applies to any strong emotion. Think about the last time you felt that rush of pure outrage from something you saw online. That's a hot state. The version of you that furiously shares that angry article is a completely different person from the one who might calmly analyze it an hour later.
So, we've established our brains have these predictable glitches, right? Now, what happens when we plug 3 billion of these glitchy brains into a global grid that's designed to amplify those very flaws?
This is where it all snaps into focus. Social media algorithms are not neutral. They have goals. Your anchoring bias? That's the perfect tool for their personalization engines. Your confirmation bias? Well, that's exactly what content curation is designed to feed. And all those strong, hot state emotional reactions, that, my friends, is the holy grail, engagement.
So you have to understand, this is not a mistake. The system learns. It learns that if it shows you a headline that anchors you to an extreme view and then keeps feeding you content that confirms that view, it's way more likely to trigger an emotional hot state reaction. And that reaction is what gets the clicks, the shares, and the ad money. It is a feedback loop powered by our own psychology. And the fallout from this system goes way beyond just you or me having a bad day online. It scales up, turning these personal biases into massive society-wide problems.
I mean, on its own, one person getting ticked off by a misleading headline, that's just life, right? It's a small, isolated little thing. It's a quirk.
But here's the thing. We are not isolated. There are billions of us plugged into these same basic algorithmic systems. Humanity has never ever been connected on a scale like this before.
And when you take millions, even billions of those individual quirks, and you have engagement-hungry algorithms pushing them all in the same direction, you don't just get a lot of angry people. You get a force that can actually bend our shared sense of reality. You get echo chambers that turn into concrete bunkers. You get the kind of division that can tear societies apart.
Okay, I know this all sounds pretty intense, but really, understanding the system is the first step toward fixing it. So, how do we get back in the driver's seat? How do we start to debug our own brains?
The goal here isn't to become some kind of perfectly rational robot. That's just impossible. As all these experiments show, our irrationality is baked in. It's part of us. The real goal is to become aware of our glitches so we can consciously push back against them.
Okay, 3 simple steps. First, notice your emotional state. Feel that wave of outrage, that self-righteous anger building up. That's your signal. That's the hot state kicking in. Just pause, take a breath before you share. Second, challenge your first impression. Remember that anchoring experiment? Ask yourself, what if this headline is designed to get a rise out of me? And third, you have to actively seek dissent. The algorithm wants to build you a comfortable little echo chamber. Your job is to break out of it. Intentionally go find smart people who disagree with you and listen to what they have to say.
Ultimately, the fight for a healthier online world, and honestly a healthier society, it starts right here, with us. It starts with the awareness that our own minds are being played, and then making the conscious choice to take back the controls. Because if you don't make an active choice about what you consume and what you believe, you can be sure an algorithm will always be there, ready to make that choice for you.